We'll talk about the source of all suffering, or what's the reason we suffer. The reason we suffer, or the reason why we have pain, if we talk, for example, about, where's your kippah, by the way? The reason why we have pain, for example, according to Chinese medicine, is there is a certain imbalance in our body. And also Western medicine. The body is born, is created in a certain balance, and then when the balance is disrupted, there is pain. We are a dual entity creatures. We have a neshama, a soul, a spirit, and we have a body as well. We continue on neglecting a spirit, and all we're left with is our desires, pleasures for the body, whether it's food, sex, crazy things, and so on and so forth. The more or the emptier you are spiritually, the more you will have to do those external stimulation of that. I don't see anybody actually saying, you know what, I want to really develop spiritually. And okay, Rabbi, what are the tools for me to grow spiritually? Everybody wants to have more fun. Everybody wants to have more money. Everybody wants to have more this and more that. And why do you want so much? Why aren't you ever happy with what you have? It's because you are a one-sided, very disturbed, balanced creature. And you suffer. The root of all suffering is the imbalance in which you have created within yourself between the physical and the spiritual. And that's the bottom line. A person who is spiritual, a person that lives with a spiritual meaning in his life, doesn't seem to interpret his suffering or whatever happens to him as suffering. It's your perspective about it. He has a meaning. We only, refer to the Maslow triangle, right? Shelter, food, and so on and so forth. So if you have a place to live, why do you need a bigger house? What is that you're trying to prove that I want a bigger house? Why do you need a bigger house? You have a house. For what? For whom? You have a house. Because your house is not filled with any meaning. So you think that you are going to answer that call by getting a bigger house. It will give me more meaning. It wouldn't. After a while it becomes a headache. So then you need another house, bigger. Then you need a swimming pool. And then you become overwhelmed because now you have to support all those habits of yours. Because you have to take care of your pool. You have to take care of, you have to get a pool guy and cost water and services and heater. And you become a slave to your own, and you become very, very unbalanced person. And you suffer for the whole creation which you created to yourself. However, if you have meaning in your life, said, Baruch Hashem, I'm okay. I have a house. I have everything. I'm okay. And the same thing when you get married. If you get married because anything else besides the reason of getting married, you'll pay for it. You'll suffer. You married the girl because she's rich, or she married you because you're rich. You're going to suffer. It's all dependent on one thing. And all of a sudden he says, there's nothing in this relationship anymore. This relationship is gone. The meaning is gone. So let me go into a different relationship. Of course, you would not break from your wife because she's going to sue the heck out of you. So you're going to cheat on her. And that's what happens. You have nothing to offer anymore in the relationship. That's why it's important. Besides the fact that would allow the man to learn Torah, it's important for the woman to work. Because you go outside, you enrich yourself, you come home and you give. But when you sit at home like this, doing absolutely nothing, and don't tell me that the mothers used to stay home. because the mother used to work so hard, they didn't have time, and the social structure was different. There were neighbors coming in, and they were doing laundry together, there would be kunku. I lived this world. I had like the end of this world. It's not like we had today. Today a neighbor doesn't come into your house to have a coffee, to do laundry together, to cook. You don't share, you don't send each other dishes. You call on the phone, or you send WhatsApp. Or you do Instagram, selfie. All day long you do selfies. Like this. You see the people, it's like the most annoying thing. All the pictures go like this. Maze! Where's my coffee? So when there's no meaning anymore, so you would try to find more meaning, and then becomes a problem. Women, it's okay for women to work. It's okay for a woman to work. Yeah, she raises a kid, and she goes to work. I have, Baruch Hashem, 7 kids. My wife always worked. She would take her maternity leave. Whatever it was allowed. Usually she would give birth when she can take a summer vacation. And then she'll go back to work. And you know what? She did that. So I can continue learning. That's very simple. You have meaning in that. So it's not a problem. So when you have meaning, you are generated by something greater than your urges. You balance your body with something spiritual. And you don't suffer in your life. There is a meaning. So therefore, suffering comes from lack of meaning. And meaning comes from dwelling into the spiritually inside of you. You need to be balanced. Yes, you need to have a roof on your head. You need to eat. But you don't have to have a 12-ounce steak every day. Besides, it's not healthy. Become vegan. It's good. Eat beans and rice. It's very good. What's wrong eating beans and rice? There's so many different types of beans in so many different ways. Become a vegan. Very good for you. You know, you need, what else do you need? How much, it's too expensive to you to live in New York? Not a problem. Don't dip yourself into let's say, for example, you can't afford an apartment in Queens. Okay, so don't move to Great Neck. Become more expensive. You're going to put yourself in a bigger pit. So what do? You move to Baltimore. You can move to Baltimore. You can buy a house for $300,000 that in Great Neck will cost you $3 million. That's the difference. So move it. Because what you're doing is you're moving for a goal. And your goal should be enriching myself, becoming a better vehicle for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm learning Torah. I have a mission. And that mission in my life gives me meaning. And when I have meaning, it's all a part of that. If you go to the gym, right? And you lift weights, you work hard. Or you go to karate, actually if you get up on time. You do some exercise, your legs are sore, your arms are hurting, muscles pain, you're lifting, a lot of weight. But you come out of it, you what? No, how does it feel? Don't touch me, it hurts. But I feel good. Why does it feel good? Okay, so let me get you a job as a porter. Lift the same amount of weights all day long, but be a schlepper. Oh, you're going to curse it. Well, you're getting a free workout and you're getting paid for it. Here you're going to the gym, you're paying. Here you're getting paid. Why are you complaining? Because there's no meaning to you in that. It's the same pain, but there's no meaning. So that's why you suffer. It's not what happens to you. It's how you interpret it. So when you dwell on the physical, and you increase the physical without working on equilibrium of increasing the spiritual as well, you'll suffer. You'll suffer. Yes, in our society, unfortunately, we have to have money. But it doesn't mean that we have to have a lot of money. I'm not saying you should be yogis like in India, That's not fitting with our lifestyle of the world that we live in. However, balance it out. Instead of working 12, 16 hours a day to have more, I mean, who are you going to leave the money to? To the guy who's going to marry your wife when in 50 years old you have a heart attack? Who are you going to leave this money to? What are you going to give your children? What meaning are you going to give your children? What message are you giving your children? And look at all those rich communities, all those wealthy communities. Compare them to poorer Torah communities. See how many of those kids stay on the derech and how many stay off the derech. Even in the most frum communities, there will be kids who will go off the derech. We all know that. But the number is minimal. On those rich communities, most of the people get off the derech. The kids, they're not going to have second or third generation Shomer Shabbat, Shomer Mitzvot. They're not. Because they're in balance. And I don't think there's greater suffering than that. So consume less. Work on your spirituality more. And by doing so, you'll suffer less. Have a great day.